everything. But I just figured that I'd call up my mom because I was in the mood for talking to her. And so my mom got a little bit worried when she found out that I wasn't with my dad. And so she told me, well, are you with people that you feel safe with? And I said, oh yeah, I feel safe with everybody. And so I realized at that moment that I totally felt safe in the movement. And everyone was so nourishing and nice to me. And so that was a really nice moment. And another moment with my mom on the phone was I had lost the phone that she had sent me with. And so I called her up off of my dad's phone just to let her know. And she told me, oh, okay, well, only use, if you need to borrow someone's phone, only use a mom's phone that you know. And so I told her, or I could use the people at the food desk's phone, or I could use those people in the center of the park with their dog's phone, or I could use, the people that family outside of the parks, or whoever, because I felt totally safe with everyone inside of Zuccotti Park. And so I discovered that I really loved them. And so by the end, I was really sad because I felt like I was leaving family. And so, but it was really great. And then another, how am I doing right now? We're still at fun? Okay. And then I also met, there was some youth, but I went usually during the morning until about 3 o'clock, and they were all still in school. But one day it was, I think, maybe Memorial Day. And so it was, all of the kids in New York had the day off. And so I found out that they were hosting a parent sleepover with their kids in Zuccotti Park. And then we also got a great interview with a family of, I think that they had 5 kids. And they had decided, the oldest girl who is my age, they were from Albany, and she had dragged out her family. And there were a pair of twin boys, and then there was a little girl, and a middle sister, and then a really older sister. And so they were really great, and they were holding up a sign that was talking about their youth and how they didn't want the world to get taken away from them. And so that was really great because at that moment I saw that youth did care, and so I wasn't the only one, and so that was great. And then I'll tell one last story, and that was at Occupy Washington, which I was at right after I left Occupy Wall Street. There was this woman who had been involved in a protest at the Air and Space Museum, and she had gotten pepper sprayed right in the face, directly in the face. And so when we saw her, she was squirting milk into her eyes. And she wasn't used to being interviewed, but she felt like she was a celebrity because she had been sprayed full in the face. And so at one point I actually helped squirt milk into her eyes, which was upsetting. But she was saying, but I really got the sense throughout the time that, I know, who's ever heard the term, do it for your children and your children's children, help them. But I really got the sense that not only was she doing that for her children and her children's children, she was doing it for everyone. And so that was really great, and she was this really sweet woman. And she actually hadn't even been the ringleader of the whole protest, but she had just somehow made her way up to the front, not really realizing it. And so it was sad, but it was okay, and she was dealing with it, and she just seemed like she was doing it for all of us. And so that was really nice, and I really loved her. She was a great woman. And right after that, we were the first people to catch her, and right after that, a big swarm of people came and started interviewing her all at once. But yeah, and so all of these people are out there right now, and they're all, risking their faces because of pepper spray. But they're all risking so much to be out there right now, and so that was really great. And so anyway, with Doug, I hadn't really thought about it, but about a month or a couple weeks after I got back, Doug approached me and he told me about this speech. And he told me that because I'm not a super spiritual person in the sense, and so he told me, well, did you go out of love? And I said, and I started thinking about it, and I thought maybe I did, because, or like maybe not at the beginning, because at the beginning I was just thinking I get to miss 2 weeks of school. But after a while I really started to love all the people, and so that was really great. And so, am I good?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you. So, Zora to me is fearless. And in my days up in Ottawa, when I cross her path, I capture that every time. And she's also fierce. And I know I have to tell you about that word just for a moment, because I use that to describe Zora. And in closing, I just want to do a quick little thing with, first, thank you for coming out. So I went on the internet to look at fearless, and you all could do that, and you'd expect to see what fearless means. So I don't have to give you that definition, but I thought fierce was really an interesting one. Let me find it here. So I do use the word fierce in conversation when I'm describing people that are just like fully alive and out in front, have no fear, and are just grabbing life. But when I got to the dictionary, I was kind of stunned. So at first I wanted to read the definition and then close with a cute little realignment with the word. So if you go look up fierce, it says violently hostile or aggressive in temperament. I was comparing this to you, Zora. Or given to fighting. No. Or pugnacious. No. Or marked by unrestrained zeal and vehemence. So I like the zeal part, but not the vehemence part. And wild or menacing in appearance. So I was thinking, wow, I've been using the word incorrectly. I shouldn't call people fierce, but it's the way that I feel like really a strong way of capturing what's the essence of the person. And usually somebody that I call fierce is having a great impact on me. They're moving me. They're bringing me forward, and I love that, and I love life when it does that for me. So then I did, thank goodness I didn't give up, and I found the Urban Dictionary, which is always fun, and I'll close with the definition of fierceness with you here, and you have to just get a laugh and go with this, only in Palm Springs, okay? Urban Dictionary, a term that gay men used in the 1990s and early 2000s, so half the room's on board, to describe absolutely everything that was of exceptional quality. And I love that. Right? So, okay, we did something really good for language. That word. And I've been using it correctly all this time. We did something. We turned the word into something that means something really important to me anyway. The fierceness of a person is really amazing for me. And how do they use it in an example? And then I'll step down after you laugh at this, and I'll thank you. The question is, how was that circuit party? And the answer is, oh my God, it was fierce. Off the internet. Okay, so youth is so important, and our youthful heart is our life. And it's such a gift to have you come and bring that to me. And thank you. And I hope that today, please find that youthful heart that you have, no matter where you've come from and how long the path has been. You've arrived at the right place. And your youthful self has never dissipated or disappeared. It is just an inkling away from being recognized and embraced. And every one of you should be 13, 14, and 15 today. And go out into Palm Springs or wherever your journey takes you and be fierce. Please be fierce. And thank you.